Nerd Reactor, roll out.
What's up, Reactorites? John here, and it's time to talk about The Matrix Resurrections. And this movie is the fourth film in the franchise, and it has the return of Keanu Reeves as Neo, and it has Carrie-Anne Moss back as Trinity. And we have some new characters, and we have some vaguely similar characters, but a new actor that's playing them. For example, we have Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, who's playing Morpheus. And with this movie, with The Matrix Resurrections, I was very disappointed with the film, with the final product. And it just feels more of like a rehash of the first film. And you have the action scenes that are just uninspiring. And what made them worse is the editing, the quick cuts and the shaky cam, and then also the actual story. Like, it's a rehash. If it's just like the stuff that they're doing just doesn't feel like there's any weight to it or any stakes. Like, we've seen this before, and because in the first film, The Matrix, you're in it for the ride of like what's happening, and then you find out, oh, they need to save humanity. Here, it feels like it's not important yet, and it feels like it's just an unimportant story and more about just Neo trying to free himself and also trying to help Trinity. But yeah, a little bit about my love for the Matrix films. Like, I love the first one. It was like a masterpiece, and I had great action, a very compelling story. The premise of these machines taking over, using humans as batteries and putting them inside the Matrix and all that stuff. So it's just revolutionary, and it just combined a lot of things that I've enjoyed with the martial arts action and anime influences and many more. And then you have part 2 and 3, and I know that there are many that aren't fans of part 2 and 3, but I actually enjoyed them. I do like the philosophy behind it, and I did like where they took the story with the Matrix on how it's a cycle of just destroying Zion and rebuilding it again and having the chosen one, over and over again, so that it gives people hope. And I did like 3 as well because of the way it concluded, and seeing the Machine City and that fight scene with Neo versus Agent Smith in the sky just reminds me of something out of like Superman or Dragon Ball Z. I'm a fan of the Animatrix, and I even played and finished Enter the Matrix. The gameplay was pretty bad, but I did like the cutscenes in that. You're watching Niobe and Ghost and all that. But yeah, going back to The Matrix Resurrections, it was just such a disappointment with the story and some of the characters. I enjoyed watching them, seeing where it goes, like Yahya playing Morpheus, and it makes sense when you watch the movie. I don't want to spoil too much of the movie here. But it will make sense, and he does have like some fun moments. And then Keanu Reeves, like the first act, I like Keanu Reeves in this Matrix world trying to figure out what's happening or not, because he's taking the blue pill, everything's normal. And I do like that it's kind of meta, because of in this Matrix, there is the Matrix, an entertainment, and Keanu Reeves in the Matrix created the Matrix. And instead of it being a movie, it's a video game. And so in this world, they would talk about like what is the Matrix and why people love it. So I love that. Yeah, the first act is just fun to see where this goes with this world, where Keanu Reeves is this popular developer, and people really love the Matrix in it. And then once he starts figuring things out, starts taking the red pill, and it just feels like a rehash of the first film again. And every time there's moments where it reminds you of the first film, they actually show you flashbacks. And maybe like once or twice, it's fine. But there are many times that they do this. Like every time like a character does something that's similar in the first film, they would show that scene in the first film. And it would happen over and over and over again. And it's just like first time it's like, okay, this is what happened. But on repeat viewing, if you're going to watch this again, it's like, yes, I get it. It's going to be like very bad because it makes you think, or the filmmakers think the audiences won't remember much, or fans won't remember what happened. And you just got to just show it. And then if fans remember it, cool. If they don't, then all right, just move on. The film, it just feels more like a parody of itself now. Like the first act is definitely intentional parody, but then after that, it's unintentional, and I'm like, oh, this is just bad. And the action is so disappointing. I mentioned it before, but part of the Matrix charm is the way action scenes are shot, martial arts or etc. And here the fight scenes are not that memorable, just badly edited. The camera just really shakes a lot, and they have to like, do the quick cuts. And I know Keanu Reeves is getting older, so it might be harder to capture that, but it's gone. So it just feels like, if this is the case, why even do this at all? Why even make a fourth Matrix film if you can't pull something similar? At least part 2 and 3, like some of the CG for part 2 is bad, where Neo's fighting the Agent Smiths. But other than that, like the shots that they had, where the practical shots, they look really cool. And then the directors and cinematographers took their time to create these really interesting shots. And here, it felt like it's thrown out the window. It's like, I don't know what happened between now and then, but you know that Lana does not have her other half to help her with making this movie. So it's just one person just doing this movie. And I think that really made this sequel suffer because of that. You got to have the two together. So it just feels like it's half the creative team. So it just really feels like half a movie or half the action. And as for the performances, the characters, you know, they did what they could with the script that was given. And I think with a better script, with a better story, with a better premise. But yeah, I think it all boils down to just the story, and the story just has to be really compelling for the characters, and because it's not, you just doesn't feel interesting or exciting. There are other things that I did enjoy about The Matrix Resurrections, is the continuation of, you know, what happened to humanity, the real world, what happened out there. So I did like where they took the story on where it went. But yeah, other than that, like everything else, it just doesn't feel like it's well deserved for another film to bring back the world of the Matrix. And also, like with the characters, it just feels like a missed opportunity and just wasted potential. And I'm not even sure if I want to watch a fifth one, because I was excited about this film. I was looking forward to seeing what's going to happen to the future of the Matrix. Like, what is the Matrix now? Where are the free humans now and whatnot? But the way this movie, the finished product, was told, I don't care anymore. But yeah, so those are my thoughts on The Matrix Resurrections. Let me know what your thoughts are on the comments below. With that said, I'm John, and I'll see you guys next time.